Some observations from Vikings OTAs this week, and I want to start with the offensive line. So far, your first team offensive line reads as follows. Left tackle is Rashad Hill. Left guard, Ezra Cleveland. Center, Garrett Bradbury. Right guard, Dakota Dozier. And right tackle, Brian O'Neill. So your first round pick, Christian Darrisaw, and your third round pick, Wyatt Davis, they're currently not working with the first team, which is okay. There's nothing to freak out about here. This is nothing more to me than a steady progression plan. Because going from the college game to the pros, everybody's an All-American, damn it. You want to get their confidence up. And quite honestly, look at Wyatt Davis, for example. Do you want him to immediately, right out the gate, here comes Michael Pierce, good luck? Or do you want to give him a steady progression plan to say, okay, work with the twos, go up against guys like Hercules, Mata Alpha, feel good about yourself, and then go up against Michael Pierce? Because this isn't just, okay, get him ready for Michael Pierce or Christian Darrisaw whenever the hell Danielle Hunter comes back to work up against him. This is about a steady progression plan to go up against every opponent's number one defensive line. I think it's fine. They'll get to the ones eventually. And you want to know why I feel confident about this is because Ezra Cleveland is already working at left guard. We knew he was going to be there anyway. Last year, he was at right guard. Do you think they moved Ezra Cleveland to left guard to say, okay, let's see what we have with Dakota Dozier at right guard? No! It's to make way for Wyatt Davis. They're going to move to the ones eventually. Now, if we get halfway through training camp, or God forbid in the preseason, and this is still the situation, it's okay, man, what's happening here? Everything's going to be fine. Observation number 2, Harrison Hand is making plays. This week in OTAs, he had a pass deflection and an interception, which is pretty great, and that's with the ones, so up against Kirk Cousins. And I got to tell you, with the cornerback room as it is right now, especially with the free agent additions, Mackenzie Alexander, Patrick Peterson, Harrison Hand just didn't cross my mind as someone that would get significant PT. Chris Boyd, the same as well. But when we drafted him out of Temple last year, I was so excited. I said, man, because this is kind of a biased, this is a biased lens that I'm using right now, but growing up in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, all my friends that I went to school with, for the most part, it would be between, when you're going to college, it would be between two schools, Morgan State in Baltimore and Temple in Philly. And so if you come from those two schools and make it up to the next level, it's like, go ahead, pimp. You really made it to the next level from that school? Okay, I see you, baby. So I've always been, all right, Harrison Hand, let's see what you can do. Didn't get much PT last year, but if he continues to make plays and impress in OTAs, then at that point, it's just house money at a position group where what seems like, especially if Chris Boyd comes around, forget if Jeff Gladney is there or not, but that's just house money because what will seem like a bottomless pit at cornerback for the Vikings, that's incredibly valuable in this era of football. And lastly, this has nothing to do with OTAs. This is still Vikings related, but something that caught my eye was Jarius Wright saying, hey, bring me back. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I absolutely love it. I would love nothing more than to bring back Jarius Wright because I tell you what, man, I hated how when he was last with us, how the coaching staff just didn't take him seriously at all. I'm right. Oh, who's going to be the wide receiver 3? You remember those? I know we have it right now, which it really doesn't matter. But back in those days, who's going to be the wide receiver 3? I'm like, bro, Jarius Wright. All he does is make plays, miss the third down, consistently kept drives going. You know how valuable that is? And I remember this was something, Jarius Wright was that dude. I was at that game against the Jets. This was at, where did the Gophers play? Is it TCF Bank Stadium, if I'm not mistaken? Man, Vikings versus Jets. Teddy Bridgewater was still our quarterback. In OT, this dude, Jarius Wright, caught a screen pass and took it either 83 or 87 yards. It was snowing too. It was so much fun. I was like, hell yeah, that's my boy. Took it to the house to win in OT. Jarius Wright has always been that dude, but just never got respect from this organization. And I remember this was during the offseason leading into the 2017 season. Sam Bradford, he said about Jarius Wright during practice, he said, quote, I think Jarius Wright can be extremely valuable to us. His quickness and his speed in the slot, it's just nice having a guy like that in the slot out there. He beats one-on-one coverage consistently, whether it be on some quick option type routes or even on the deeper stuff with his vertical speed. And I'm like, yeah, duh, but you're just figuring out now that Jarius Wright is a good player? I've been talking about Jarius Wright for years. Bring him back, if nothing else, to make things right. No pun intended. Jarius Wright, I think we're fine at wide receiver 3, but if the Vikings front office and the coaching staff, oh my God, whatsoever will we do for that oh so important? It's such an emergency to figure out the wide receiver 3 right now. It's not important, but if they think it's important, bring in Jarius Wright, bring him in for a workout. Who cares? What's the worst that could happen? Those are my observations. I know Jarius Wright is not part of OTAs, but it's Vikings related. The offensive line is going to be just fine. Christian Darrisaw and Wyatt Davis, they will eventually get into the first team offensive line. And Harrison Hand, if he keeps making plays, that's icing on the cake. Next podcast is Monday. We'll see you then. Have a good weekend.